Let me tell you what I really think about the 2020 Suzuki RMZ250 after 7 months. Before we go any further, let me show you my new addition to the garage. We are in the middle of summer here in California and it's super hot when I come back from work. So I got this portable AC unit from New Air, and this little bad boy helps me to cool down the garage. This will cool down room up to 525 square feet, so this is perfect for my garage. It has 14,000 BTU, and I just like that it's super easy to use. These old buttons on the top, you can turn it on right here. And then I have it set at 65 degrees. It cools everything down to 65 in the garage. That is 500 square feet, which is pretty good for this kind of unit. It got the little wheels, you can push it around. And also it has the tank for the condensate water on the side, so if they get full, you get a little light that will come on and tell you that the tank is full, so you can empty that. It also comes with a remote control, so it's a really nice addition to my garage. I've been sweating here, coming back home, working on the bikes in the afternoon, but now I can just turn it on, and in half an hour, 1 hour, it gets cooler, and in a couple of hours my garage is nice and cool in the upper 60s. So I will have a link below in the description with the code for $100 off. If you guys are interested, hit the link below and stay cool. I had this 2020 Suzuki RMZ250 on my channel for last 7 months. Today is July and I got this bike in December. And if I show you the video from December, I got this bike and I had one goal I wanted to accomplish with this bike.
Since you're working on trying to be a little bit better motocross, supercross star someday.
Well, no, I'm working on trying to beat this guy one day, so I don't know, let's see.
Maybe he has to see if he can beat me before I'm 60.
I still have 10 years, so probably. Let's just do it by the time I'm 40.
Okay.
Well, as you could hear, I had a goal with this bike that I wanted to get better at motocross riding. I wanted to get better at riding on the track, because I really felt that my riding on the track is not where it's supposed to be. Let's put it that way. So I felt that I can improve in many places. I can get better at turns. I can get smoother. I can carry more momentum. I can get more confident when I hit the jumps, and overall I can just get faster and safer on the track at the same time. So I wanted to have a bike that would be safe to do all these things, will not get me easily into trouble, will perform really good on these basic levels, like the power, the handling, suspension, brakes, all that would be good. And I think I really accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish on this Suzuki RMZ250. Yes, it's not the fastest bike in the class, it's not the fanciest bike in the class, but it's a really very solid bike. The things that you need, if you are maybe at the level that I am at, the things you need to get from the bike on the track, I think Suzuki RMZ250 this 2020 year offers everything you might need. First of all, let's talk about the power. And this is not the fastest 250. If you check, the horsepowers, I'm not sure where this bike would stand, but probably somewhere on the bottom from all these different manufacturers. But the power is pretty good. The power is predictable, it's quite linear, and it pulls nicely. It has quite long gears. You can go through all those gears on the track, and it's not really like, I didn't feel like it gets the point where it's dying off. And first I was riding this bike 100% stock, only had FMF slip-on, actually full system FMF on it. And it was okay. I was able to clear all the jumps I have on the wet track. Also, I took it on the main track, and I'm not that great on the main track, but when I was on it, I could clear jumps over there too, but majority of my riding was on the wet track. So in the stock form, there was enough power, and bike did everything I wanted it to do. And then Jay Clark from Dirt Bike TV, we actually were testing this bike together. We got it together from Suzuki. So he got the Vortex ECU mapped by Twisted. Jamie had Twisted to map the Vortex ECU. We plugged it on this bike on the track, and it woke it up, and it really ran better everywhere. From the bottom, it was more responsive. It was little more, you know, better over rev, and just overall through the range, the bike became a little bit faster. And I was riding it like that since like the last 5 months. I had this Vortex ECU on it. And that's something that you can get for several $100s. It's not expensive. You can buy it from Twisted and you can just plug it in, and you get yourself a really fast RMZ250 with that thing. We didn't do anything into the engine, no mods into the engine, no different cams or, you know, head mods or nothing like that. It's a stock engine. It's reliable, it has stock valve train, everything is stock. The only thing we added was the full FMF and the Vortex ignition. And this is how I rode the bike for the last 5 months. So the power was all I needed. Honestly, it was all I needed to, you know, get used to carry more momentum in the turns, you know, to be in the right gear, to rev the bike and to kind of feel one with the bike. The power was enough. Now, what I liked about it is that it wasn't too spooky, too responsive. Like, I get into a couple situations when I was on the main track. You have few jumps that are really long tabletops, and then right after the tabletop there is a sharp turn, like a 90-degree turn. And a couple times it happened that I landed, I didn't clear the jump. I landed at the end of the jump and I get this big hit because it was a long jump. And I gave it a whiskey throttle, right? Because when you hit, and I just gave it a little throttle that you're not supposed to do, but things like that happen to us beginners, right? So that happened to me, and if this would have been a 450 or really, you know, like responsive 250, really fast bike, giving it that whiskey throttle in the third gear I was at, it would probably end up somewhere, you know, crashing off a track. So I went off the track, but the bike didn't really, you know, pull too hard, didn't really get me into the trouble that I would get on some faster bikes. So, you know, this is really what I felt, that the power on the bike is beginner friendly. It gives you what you need to get better, to get faster, to keep that momentum, you know, to ride and to enjoy. Especially on a wet track, it's really enough for everything you need. You can clear everything. Now, for the handling, Suzukis are known to be great handling bikes. Felt really good in the turns. You know, you can put it anywhere. It's like on the rails, and you know, with this bike I started learning this thing when you go in the turns and you want to pass somebody, right? So you kind of go outside the turn and then you cut it in and you go inside. So I was trying to learn this on this bike and do these sharp turns when I went into like a big ball turn, and it was really good. I got a little bit better in those you know, sharp turns, and the bike really helped me to do that. It felt good inside ruts where I put the bike, it stayed in the rut, it didn't want to jump out, and it just felt really good. The overall handling on this bike, it felt also kind of small. I'm 5'11", 200 pounds now, so I'm the average guy, maybe a little bit bigger average guy. I'm not too tall, and a bike felt great in my hands. It felt it's not too big, and I could really put it wherever I wanted to, and it was a good feeling. Now again, on the scale, it's not the lightest bike. If you go with European bikes, they are lighter than this thing, but it feels good. It doesn't feel heavy at all on the jumps, on the turns. It felt right. So the handling and also the brakes, nothing to complain about on the handling. For the suspension, it comes with a spring fork, and for some reason these springs are really stiff stock, and even with me being a little bit heavier, we resprung the front suspension and do a little bit lighter springs, and it felt good. I was hitting all the jumps. It felt good on the, you know, a little bit on the braking bumps, and also when I hit some bigger jumps. Sometimes I overshoot the jump and land it flat, and I didn't come into a situation where the suspension didn't handle what I threw at it. So, you know, it's good stock suspension. I had it dialed a little bit, but even in the stock form, it handles good. Comes a little bit stiff from the factory for the front forks. Now, one thing that is highly subjective is the look of a bike. And this thing, I just have to give it to Suzuki. I think they really nailed this new design, starting from 19 for 250 and from 18 for 450. I love this new design. Yellow always look great on the bikes, in my opinion. And this one has this yellow and blue combination. And I got a moto seat cover, and it just looks amazing. Also, Decal MX did the graphics for this bike with you know, some sponsors here, my logo, and then Dirt Bike TV logo. So I think the bike, the look of the bike is incredible. And you know, every time I pull to the track and I had it on my truck, and it just makes me so happy just to look at the bike. It really looks great, and you know, when you look great and you feel great, maybe ride a little bit faster, I don't know. But you know, it's not a bad thing to have a bike that you also like to look at it, not only ride it, but also you like to look at it. So definitely Suzuki RMZ250 is a good looking bike, and I would probably give it, is one of the best looking 250s on the market. That's my personal opinion. The value of the bike is one of the best things about this Suzuki RMZ250. You can get them cheaper than some other bikes, especially if you can find this bike that is left over. I've seen it for like $5,500, so maybe out the door under $6,000 if you negotiate a little bit with those guys, you know, at the Power Sports. So if you want to go for a brand new bike and you don't mind to have left over from last year, actually 19 was exactly the same bike as 20. So you know, if you go for 19 left over, you can save like a couple $1,000s and still get the same bike. So I think the value of a bike you are getting, if you buy a brand new bike, you can get much better price on this bike because you don't pay for electric start, there is no battery, there is no hydraulic clutch, and it's just, you know, a little bit different than the other bikes that you're buying with all these bells and whistles. But still you have all that other value. The bike runs great, it has good engine, good suspension, it's good handling, so you can have this bike for many years to come and do absolutely great on it. If you don't really are the guy who has to have the latest and the greatest and all the bells and whistles, it's really an amazing package. It's a great bike for guys who wants to get better, who are in the same situation I was at. You know, I didn't really mind to kick the bike. It started every time, hot, cold. I had zero problems with starting. And I understand that there's a bunch of older guys riding, so it does make sense to have those European bikes, or now every other bike I think already has the button. And maybe the Suzuki will come with it in 2021 or 2022. Hopefully they will bring it up all that on the same level as other Japanese bikes. That would be great, you know, to see this bike with all those bells and whistles, go a little bit on a diet, make it a little bit lighter, get that button, the electric start, and a few other features there. I think it would become a really, really great package that would be on the same level as everything else on the market. But even now, I think the value of the bike is really good, given that you can get it cheaper, and it just does everything you need it to do. So yeah, after 7 months, man, I think I got better in the motocross. I think I had a lot of fun. The bike had zero issues. It ran great. I think I put around 40 hours on the bike. I did my oil changes, my air filters, and you know, washed the bike after every single ride, and there was zero problems. I really enjoyed it. Alright my friends, I think that's about it for today, and yeah, this was my honest review. I really like this bike. I fell in love with it. It's time for me to give it back to Suzuki, and I'm really grateful, you know, for this opportunity to have it for 7 months on this channel, and you know, to train to get better, and also to give you this review and my opinion about RMZ250. Let me know what you think. If you are riding one of these bikes, or if you think to buy one of these bikes, let me know below in the comments. If you have any questions, hopefully I can help to answer. And don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.